Things are going, shall we say, well for Republicans right now. So well that even networks like CNN are now essentially calling Donald Trump the greatest president of the century. Take a look.
I think the theme of this segment is going to be love it, like it, lump it. Trump's remaking the United States of America. He said he was going to raise tariffs, and despite the claims otherwise, he is in fact doing that. The effective tariff rate at this point looks to be 9 times as high as it was last year, the highest since the 1930s and FDR. We may be dealing with, get this, negative net migration to the United States in 2025. That would be the first time there is negative net migration in this country in at least 50 years. This is why I'm saying executive orders, immigration with net migration, and we're talking about tariffs and the effective tariff rate. Donald Trump is remaking the United States. Love it, like it, or lump it. He has been tremendously influential to a historic degree.
Is that a saying? Love it, like it, lump it? I don't know what the lump it part means, but I like that right there. Things have gotten so bad at CNN that the network's 2 biggest stars right now are both Republicans, Scott Jennings and Harry Enton, who you just saw. Think about that. In Donald Trump's America, the most famous people at the most liberal network in America are Republicans. That is CNN in 2025, where fake Jake Tapper is a joke and Scott Jennings is keeping their little network afloat with his friend Harry by his side. And we are seeing this type of thing everywhere in liberal America right now. Very strange things are happening all over the country. In Texas, more than 50 elected Democrats left the state, left their families, left their kids, left their jobs. Literally, they got on private jets and flew to the state of Illinois because they don't want Republicans in Texas redrawing Texas congressional district maps. It's something called gerrymandering, and everybody does it. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but Republicans do it and Democrats do it. And it essentially means redrawing congressional maps to make sure that candidates from the party in power in the state win elections and then represent that district in Congress in Washington. And look, until the law is changed, until there's some sort of law that prevents this from happening, it's going to continue to happen. And the governor of Texas just issued arrest warrants for all these Democrats who left the state, saying, quote, "This ends now. Texas House Democrats abandoned their duty to Texans, and members must return to Texas and be in attendance when the House reconvenes at 3 p.m. For any member who fails to do so, I will invoke Texas Attorney General Opinion Number 0382 to remove the missing Democrats from membership in the Texas House." And instead of flying back, which is what most people would do, these Democrats thought it would be a good idea to hold a press conference in Illinois, the most gerrymandered state in America, where these same Democrats claim that gerrymandering, something they do all the time, is not only a threat to democracy, but also racist.
Don't mess with democracy. Don't do it. You can play that game in Texas. You can gerrymander the hell out of that map. Guess what? 2 can play that game.
They expect Democrats to kind of be the nice guys that we are. They expect us to take the punch and say thank you. Well, I am here to tell you, not only are we going to punch back, but we're about to beat you down.
Your racism is not going to change democracy in the state of Texas. It's not going to change it in the United States of America. Racism is going to be met with our taking a stand for democracy. You take a stand for racism. We will stand for democracy.
They do it all the time. How is it racist? I swear. Did you know that 9 months ago today was Election Day, November 5th? These people have not learned a thing since Election Day. Not a thing. That's why I am not concerned remotely right now about the midterms. We'll get to that. But we want to show you a map of the congressional districts in the state of Illinois. Okay, so in 2021, the governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, who wants to be president in 3 years, called the map that you're looking at a map that reflects the diversity that will preserve minority representation in Illinois. Okay, so let me just leave it here for a second. All of those little squiggly doodly doodads there are all congressional districts. Okay, everything red is represented by a Republican. Everything blue is represented by a Democrat. Okay, so keep that in mind. When you look at this map, does it maybe look like Democrats in Illinois might have just gerrymandered a little bit to keep Democrats in control in key places? Those aren't rivers. That's not a lake. That is a Democrat congressman's district. Think about the thing down there, the little squiggly thing. That's a district. He's like, no, we like it like that. It's going to be like a little line like that. That's the district, right? Instead of just like the old days when they were big rectangles. Donald Trump won 45% of the vote in Illinois, but somehow Illinois has 14 Democrat congressmen and only 3 Republicans. You think gerrymandering might have had something to do with that? Tom Bevan from Real Clear Politics tweeting that the idea that Texas Democrats would flee to Illinois, a state where Democrats have abused gerrymandering to comical levels, is perfection. Senator Eric Schmidt tweeting to protest partisan gerrymandering. Texas Democrats are fleeing to Illinois. You cannot make this stuff up. But this isn't just happening in Illinois. Let's go to California, biggest state in America by population. Almost 800 miles long, California, from top to bottom. The state's got 52 members of Congress, but somehow only 9 are Republicans. That's 17%. Do you think maybe gerrymandering might have had something to do with that? Take a look at Massachusetts, where Donald Trump got almost 40% of the vote in November, but somehow all 9 congressional districts are represented by Democrats, something the president explained in detail today.
In Massachusetts, I got, I think, 41% of the vote. It's a very, blue state. And yet it's got 100% of Congress, 100%. So I got 41% or something. And yet 100% of Congress in Massachusetts. No, it shouldn't be that way. We should have a couple of Congress people.
In New York, it is the exact same thing. Donald Trump with 43% of the vote, but only 7 out of the 26 members of Congress from New York are actually Republicans. So what's going on? What's really interesting is that after all of that, everything I just took you through, Republicans still control Congress. Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House. And after all of that, everything we just took you through, there are still more registered Republicans in this country than there are registered Democrats for a 3rd year in a row. And this is happening because Democrats continue to elect people like this. Texas Congresswoman Jazzy Jasmine Crockett.
Unfortunately, this bill is going to continue to move on the Senate side because the Senate side is still in, but the House is not in. And as we know, it's got to pass both chambers before it can get to anybody's desk. So as of right now, there is nothing that they can do as it relates to the House. I am so very proud. Please, please, please look up these amazing state representatives, show them some love, encourage them, because this is really her federal investigation for years.
This woman thinks she's going to be president in 2028. Again, today marks 9 months since Election Day, and Democrats have not learned a thing. Whatever Democrats are complaining about at any given moment, every single week, they are usually guilty of doing themselves. Tonight, it's gerrymandering. Yesterday, it was Jeffrey Epstein, and they want to talk about Donald Trump. They have no interest in talking about Bill Clinton. Why not? Democrats had no problem charging Donald Trump with 91 felonies. They had no problem arresting Donald Trump. None of that was ever a big deal to Democrats, but you better not try that with Barack or Hillary. Democrats will fly to Central America to sip margaritas with criminal illegal aliens, but they won't fly to East Palestine, Ohio, or Western North Carolina after a hurricane. Democrats can gerrymander in places like Illinois and California and New York, but don't you dare try to do the same thing in Texas, because whatever Democrats are complaining about in any given moment, they are most likely guilty of doing themselves.